Leah's grandfather, and I'm very, very happy to be here today to see all these smiling faces and to tell you a little bit about wildlife. And I hear that you already know quite a bit about wildlife because I heard the answers to those questions. They were amazing. Okay. Are we done? Do you want to say anything?
Do you want to go back and sit down, honey?
Yeah.
Thank you, Leah.
Thank you, Leah, sweetheart. Yeah, so Leah was really excited. She asked me, Grandpa, are you going to do a presentation? Are you going to do an animal talk to all my friends at school? And I said, of course, I would love to do that. So you must know that I am a photographer. And I am, yes. And I specialize in wildlife photography. And today we're going to talk about special animals in Colorado. But I travel all around the world looking for wildlife and photographing wildlife. So I just love wildlife. And I love to share my adventures and some of my pictures with you folks. So, why don't we get started? And as you can see, we're talking about animals of Colorado. And I like to use the word wildlife as well as animals, because animals can be wild or not wild. But I like the wild kind, the ones that live out in the woods, in the mountains, in the forest, and in the valleys. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And we're going to talk specifically about animals and wildlife in Colorado. Okay. Now everybody knows we live in Colorado, right?
Yeah.
Right. So this is a map of the United States. And Colorado is like almost in the center, right there, that big square state right there. And we are very fortunate to live in this state because this state has the Rocky Mountains. Heard of the Rocky Mountains?
Yeah.
Anyone? All right. So the Rocky Mountains are a beautiful mountain range with lots of wildlife. And so we're going to take a look at what we can find in the Rocky Mountains. Where do I live? Okay, so I live in a town called Silverthorne, Colorado, up in the mountains. It's near Breckenridge. Anybody hear about Breckenridge?
Yeah.
Everybody knows Breckenridge. This is one antler. Elk actually have two. Let's get back to the picture here. They have two, one on each side of their head. It's bone. It grows out of their head. And then at the end of in late winter, they fall off on the ground. And you can actually go out in the forest and find them and bring them back home. But antlers have points. See these? These are points. How many points on this antler? Right. This is a 5-point antler. And I've seen elk with 7 points. 7-point antlers are really big. Question.
I have a 10-pointer.
You have a 10-point antler? You are very fortunate, because that's rare. I've never seen one that big. Another question.
Did you get that off of a deer?
No, this came off of an elk. Actually, elk and deer are kind of in the same family, but they're different wildlife animals.
But they're different sizes.
Yes, and they're very different in size. Exactly right.
I've
Yes.
seen a lot of deers.
Okay, any more questions about the antler? So we know the difference between antlers and horns, right? Although probably the only predator for a bighorn sheep would be a mountain lion.
Is that what it is?
Has anyone ever seen a mountain lion?
Really?
Yeah.
I've only seen one once.
Mr. Seeley, last year we had a mountain lion on her couch right here on our soccer field.
Oh,
Call him
God.
next time. That I have to
scary.
see.
Yes.
That you are very, very lucky to see a mountain lion.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Hugs and bubbles, bubbles and hugs.
Okay, folks, sorry. So they travel in herds also, like elk and moose.
Great.
They have a very good sense of smell. They can smell people. You got to be very careful about when you approach them. And bighorn sheep will bump their heads to see who gets to be the leader of the herd. And the one that wins the bumping contest gets to be the ruler. Now we want to make sure that when we're photographing or observing wildlife, we do it from a safe distance, okay? So you can see my friend here who's a photographer, he's a good safe distance from these bighorn sheep so they're not disturbed. And we use big lenses to keep a safe distance away from the wildlife. These are big camera lenses. All right, what's this? It's a black bear. Okay. All right, now, has anyone seen a black bear?
I saw
In the wild, in the wild.
In the one.
Like half the class. I mean, this is amazing. You live in such a great state, I'll tell you. Colorado is unbelievable. Okay, so I'm going to ask another question. Let's see.
Okay, let's put our hands down.
Has anyone heard of the grizzly bear? So the grizzly bear is a special bear. We do not have grizzly bears in Colorado. They were once in Colorado many years ago, but not any longer. They're in Wyoming, Montana, Alaska, not Colorado. Although occasionally one passes through. But we have black bears. All right, let's take a look at this. So they will eat mainly berries, but black bears will eat almost anything, and that's an important thing to remember because they will get into your garbage. So if you live in black bear country, you've got to make sure your garbage cans are sealed on tightly so that the bears don't get into your garbage. And what happens during the winter? Bears, what do they do? They have all the answers.
They're good. They're very high.
Okay, that's fantastic. Yes, they hibernate during the winter. Bears have excellent balance. Look at these two bears just walking right along a log. No problem. We have a question?
There's like bears, like if they step over a log the wrong way, they can still keep their balance with their two paws are still on.
Yes, it's amazing their balance. And they like to fish too. Have you ever seen a bear catch a fish?
Yeah.
You see that mostly in Alaska. You don't see that too much in Colorado. Bears love to climb trees. Look at this. Doesn't that look like fun? Especially the bear cubs. Everyone has seen a red fox. Is there anyone that has not seen a red fox? Oh, there are a few people that have not seen a red fox. Well, they're very common in Colorado. You can see them in your backyard. And I hope you get to see one.
Oh, kindergarten. Voices need to be off.
So red foxes live in dens, right? Do you know that some red foxes are black? I know that sounds crazy, but some of them are black. And what are the babies called? Does anybody know what a red fox baby is called? Right here. A kid.